What's good, y'all? It's your boy Mixtape Moth. So, OT the Real. He's an artist coming out of Philly by way of Massachusetts who I feel was really underrated when it comes to coke rap, drug talk, and just overall street lyricism. He's been grinding on the music front since about 2016 after having spent 5 years in prison. So he is bringing that authenticity to the table. And when you hear his lyrics, you just get the sense that he is a white rapper who possibly really lived the street life. Last year, he dropped a dope project with Green Lantern called Broken Glass, which almost made my end of the year album list. But for his first album of 2022, entitled Maxed Out, he linked with the ever consistent Statik Selektah. And there was a time period in the mid to late 2010s where Statik Selektah was really holding it down as far as being a go-to producer for that traditional hip-hop sound. This thing is 10 tracks lasting approximately 26 minutes. But with that being said, let me go ahead and just hit y'all with this track-by-track breakdown. This opens with the track Loyalty, where OT the Real does some storytelling, reflecting on coming home from jail and not knowing who to trust. He had to learn to embrace family and his day ones that were there before the bag. I like the melodic and ethereal boom bap production that we got from Statik. OT raps, this is murder in the first. These dickheads rapped about murders in their verse. Got convicted. I just script, I'ma be murder in the first. So it sounds like he's speaking on the trends of rappers self-snitching, incriminating themselves on wax only to catch a RICO charge. Makes you think about that Thug and Gunna case. And at the end of the track, OT gets some cosigns from Shaq, Wallow, and Gilly the Kid. And this is something that I've noticed on all of his projects thus far, is he always has audio clips of established artists giving him that cosign. But all in all, this was a dope intro track with streetwise lyrics and an ill beat. Track 2, Make It Count, is a hustler's anthem. Here we get an attractive soul beat. The triumphant horn loop goes pretty hard. Since OT the Real has experienced the pitfalls of the street game personally, he wants to give the game to the youth and to convince them to stack their bread. You know, you got to have an exit plan in the streets. Every opportunity, you got to make it count. So in terms of the production, the hook, and overall vibes, this one is definitely one of the strongest on the project. Song 3 is The Eerie Revelations, which has a nice blend between traditional and more modern sounding production. I like the colorful synths, elegant sample, the booming bass, and dense drums. It's one of my favorite instrumentals. OT shares some jail stories and vivid tales of the ruthless streets, environments that can turn young men into savages and beasts, like something out of the book of Revelations. He talks about how his bro got life, but if you ask him, he beat the electric chair. Now, if that isn't the most positive way to view a shitty situation, then I don't know what is. I also like the following line: never had a job, but I serve it to the working class. Track 5 is Hardcore, featuring Philadelphia Freeway with a beat. This sounds like it was tailor-made for Freeway. I like the bright chipmunk soul chops. It's really reminiscent of that old Rockefeller sound. And it was great to see Free in the studio recording, especially after some of his recent health issues. OT has some dope punchlines like, they turn on you for a price or to get some likes, have you doing 99 years, Betty White, and the plugs are all my buddies and my custies look like Macklemore. The next song, Turn On Me, has a gloomy boom bap beat. Here OT does some more storytelling and reflection that is very vivid. He recalls being stabbed in the back so much it felt normal, and court was the only time we dressed formal. But he also acknowledges that these worst moments and all of the betrayal brought out the best in him. The following song, The Bottom, has this animated orchestral loop that for some reason reminded me of the sounds of underground hip hop during the early to mid 2000s, and they were scratching on the hook, which was also a plus. OT murders this beat, and we get a solid guest feature performance from Mercules. OT states, I just got my check in from Tidal. This shit is vital. How a fiend arm bleeding, you would think he was suicidal. And it just paints an ill graphic visual of addiction. But yeah, I like OT's descriptive street bars, and Statik came through with a punchy beat. Conversely, track 7, Treachery, has more of an atmospheric and moodier instrumental. OT claims he has some pills and some Karen on deck. Obviously, Karen, referring to that white girl. And the following line was pretty clever. You'll die over this work like the Narcos producers. And that was some true to life shit that happened back in 2017. Pretty chilling. Right after is Windows, which has a melancholy vocal harmony and some crisp drums. Gives off that feeling like you're driving through the city streets on a misty, rainy morning. OT, once again, paints a picture of his come up with came home from that state yard, scuffed up pair of Timbos and gym clothes, broken, desperate, I really been those. And home invasions and robberies, I really rumbled them. In the F, I really knelt to piss because my cellies was Muslim. So it's in the detail of these bars that kind of let you know that he was in the mix of action in those Philly streets, in the prison system. The second to last track is Came Up Fast, and it's built around a ghostly vocal sample that is operatic. It's a somber beat, but it's also pretty epic. On this one, OT gives us more suspenseful street narratives and also talking about getting it out the mud. Sure, the lyrics are hard, but I feel the beat from Statik really steals the show. Then the album wraps up with History, where he reminds folks to check his resume. You know, he's not new to this. He's true to this. There's a history of dead rappers and work still left in his stash. He talks about old DAs trying to open up cases just to harass him, but I really dug the following lines. Every 16 is a work of art. I was 16, state police ripping my doors apart. And this is backed by an ultra gritty organ sample and dusty drums. It's by far the grimiest beat on the project. Overall, I give this album a rating of a strong 3.5 to 4 mics. OT came through with another consistent and dope release. If you like detailed street rap that's bar heavy, because the man is a lyricist through and through, with a splash of introspection, then this is definitely a project that you should check out. There are quite a few punchlines throughout, and his wordplay is slick, but he also opens up quite a bit about his life experiences on this album, his struggles, and how he persevered to go legit. You know, when we compare contemporary rappers in this subgenre of coke talk, I would liken OT the Real to a Benny the Butcher, more so than a Stove God Cooks or Pusha T. The latter of the two give us more outlandish and flashier takes on the drug game, whereas OT and Benny give more of the vivid, detailed, and reality-based narratives that make the two seem more authentic, in my opinion. And how could I forget Statik Selektah's contributions here, who I feel gave us some of his best production in recent memory. I know Statik has been on a jazzy live band production kick for some time, and while I can respect his desire to grow as a producer, I feel his bread and butter is more so the kind of production that we got on this album. My favorite tracks include Make It Count, Revelations, Hardcore, Turned on Me, Windows, Came Up Fast, and History. Let me know what you thought about this album in the comment section. It's your boy Mixtape Moth. I'm signing out, but be sure to hit that like button and please subscribe. As always, peace and blessings. OT the Real, Statik Selektah, maxed out 1.